Well, the renegade Conservative politician was appearing there on the Telegraph's daily waves across the political establishment. Well, to discuss this first with me tonight is Imam and broadcaster Ajmal Masroor. Ajmal, thank you for giving up your time this evening. We really appreciate it. Can I just get some initial comments from you in response to what Conservative MP Nick Timothy has said about that event in Trafalgar Square?
Matt, thank you for inviting me. I actually have just left my dinner table with my family to be with you because I think it's an important discussion to have, an honest conversation we must have. I think Nick's attempt to have an honest conversation has blown up on its own face. He wanted to say, perhaps, Muslims are praying, maybe they should include more people in their prayer. Maybe he wanted to invite the Muslims to be more inclusive. He would be surprised to know all mosques are open to everybody. I, for example, lead on 5 different mosques in the country. The biggest food bank in North London is run in one of the mosques that I manage in North London. And 80% of those who come to our mosque are not Muslims. Everyone is welcome. So for Nick to have this fear that Muslims are somewhat exclusive, they're trying to dominate, I think it's not only fictitious, it's based on either willful ignorance or sheer ignorance. I don't know which one it is.
Ajmal, I'm just curious, but can I ask you something very specific?
Of course.
One point that Nick Timothy made was that the specific call to prayer, the Adhan, was, if you really read it, it is intended as an act of domination. And I suspect some other people might draw a link to, let's say, ideologies within certain strands of Islam or organizations connected to Islam who have seen that specific call to prayer as an attempt to intimidate public arenas. What do you say to Nick Timothy regarding that point?
Matt, let me ask you a question in return. Have you ever heard the Adhan, the call to prayer?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Have you read the meaning of it?
Well, this is the question I'm asking you. Do you see?
Let me help you. So, including Nick and everyone else who's listening, our friends and our families or our neighbors, it's a call to prayer. It says God is great, call to doing good, and call to pray. Anybody who's a Muslim who wants to pray, it's a call to them. It's like church bells.
But it doesn't. Am I correct in saying that it? Am I correct in saying, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it just in given time constraints, doesn't it say that there is only one God?
Of course, that's the declaration of our faith, but that does not mean everybody who is listening to it must declare and accept that statement. It's not like that. It's like church bell I was saying. Everyone who listens to church bell doesn't automatically get alarmed, worried, oh my God, it's a ring of domination. Every time
church bells aren't saying, but church bells, if I'm right, and please, educate me if I'm wrong, but church bells are not saying there is only one God and you must follow that one God.
Well, that's not what the Adhan says. Adhan says there is one God, come to doing good, come to pray. I don't know why Nick has a bee under his bonnet. People are praying, calling to pray, doing something good. And no prayer is ever forced, even on Muslims. It's up to you. If you want to join, you can join. Trafalgar Square, by the way, has been used by Jewish communities for prayers, Hindu, Sikh, and people of faith and no faith. It's an amazing center of inclusivity, of plurality, of diversity of London.
Ajmal, can I ask you just one?
Muslims only is unfair.
Can I ask you just one other question? Do you understand at all? I mean, what's your view about the fact that many people looking on at those scenes who are non-Muslim would have found those scenes uncomfortable, and many people would say, well, yes, free to practice any religion. After all, our country is based on religious tolerance, but we would prefer people to practice religion in mosques, in churches, in their own home, not in public places. Do you understand why people might feel that way?
So if you see a Buddhist person meditating in the park, do you get irritated?
Why do Japanese families pay £31 for electricity while British families pay £400 for the exact?
Question to you. Do you see, if somebody is meditating in the park, I see them often in Hyde Park, in Green Park, in Finsbury Park, I see people individually meditating. Is that a problem? No, because it's a very good thing to do. A person is focusing on their own spiritual being. If somebody wants to pray on their own or collectively, not only should we celebrate, if we have the time and if we are brave and courageous and honest, join in and say, hey, I've got a couple of minutes, can I join you? Nobody would ever turn anyone away if they want to join in prayers. I think maybe Nick doesn't understand Islam. And there is a huge problem in our society, Matt, and this is the truth. And this is the honest conversation that we should all have. There is mistrust, misunderstanding about Islam, and programs like yours can help dispel some of the myths. Prayer is a personal connection, communication with God. We pray to the same God. Jesus is a prophet of God, and Islam is mentioned more than Muhammad is mentioned in the Quran. There is a chapter called Chapter of Mary. So I don't understand why Nick should have any problem. In fact, we call Christian friends, Jewish friends, our neighbors and people of the book, and we respect them and we follow them.
Ajmal, simply because of time constraints, we need to bring in the panel and continue the debate. Thank you for your time this evening.
Welcome.
I do want to bring in Associate Comment Editor at The Telegraph, Poppy Coburn.